Hi everyone, I'm Ramiro, one of the co-founders of Okteto. In our previous video, we show you how you can use Okteto to deploy your dev environment. Today, I'm going to show you how you can actually develop using that dev environment. For this, we deployed our Movies app sample. This is a microservice-based application. It has an API, front end, using Mongo, all running on Okteto. I go here, click on my endpoint. You can see the front end here. You can access the API. If you look closely, this app has two lists, the movies and the continue watching. But they're both the same, and that's not what it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be a different one. So I'm going to show you how you will fix this using Okteto. I'm going to go back to Okteto and click, in this case, on the API. If you click on the development button, you're going to get instructions on how to use the Okteto CLI to connect your local machine with your Okteto dev environment. So let's just follow all these instructions. First thing you're going to run is Okteto namespace. For this example, I'm going to run everything on VS Code, but you don't have to do that. You can use whatever you want. So in this case, I'm going to run Okteto namespace. Okteto namespace is going to do two things. It's going to log you into Okteto if you haven't, and it's going to activate your dev namespace. By activating, it means it's going to set your Kubernetes context, download your credentials and everything needed for you to develop in this specific namespace. Now that we did this, we're going to clone our repo, which in this case I already did, and we're going to go to the movies folder to open it. In this case, I'm going to do it here. I'm going to open my movies folder. Then finally, and here's where the interesting things start to happen, I'm going to go to the API folder and type Okteto up. Going back to our trusted terminal, I'm going to go to the API and I'm going to run Okteto up. While this runs, I'm going to explain you what's going on. Okteto, the CLI, is based on this YAML. This YAML is what tells Okteto how you want to develop on every component of your application. In this case, for the API, this is telling Okteto to find a component called API, to forward this ports, to synchronize your code at the /source folder, and to run bash as the command. This is giving us a terminal into our remote dev environment. This is a container that's running on our cluster, on the same namespace, and with the same configuration as our application. If I go back to the application I showed you before, and I reload it, you'll see that now it's hanging because my API is not running just yet. So in this case, I cheated and actually introduced a bug on purpose on our code. I'm going to show you what it is. We'll go to server.js. Here, we're going to see there's two APIs that are being called. API movies and API watching. This one is reading from the movies collection and giving me all the movies in the collection. This one is also reading from the movies collection instead of from the watching collection. So this is the issue. But before that, let's start our application to make sure it just works with the current version of the code. In this case, we're going to run yarn start because it's a node-based application. Yarn start for this application is running nodemon. Nodemon is a node process that's also monitoring for file changes. And I can guess you know where this is going, but let me show it to you. We're going to refresh this and we'll go back to how our application is working with the bug. So let's fix the bug. Here, we're going to type watching instead of movies, save the file. You'll see that automatically Okteto synchronized the new file to your remote container where nodemon picked up the change and hot reloaded your process, which means that you can just go here, refresh, and, get your application updated. At this point, you know that your code works. You already tested it end to end. The API is working, the integration with the UI is working, and reading from the database is working. And the best part is that everything is running remotely with one click and replicable. So this is an example of how you can use Okteto to develop an application directly on your cluster. I hope you found it useful. If you like it, please go back to our channel and check out the rest of our videos, or go to okteto.com so you can start right away. Thank you.